letter to come in.
Did you get sworn in?
Yeah.
He's already been sworn in.
Well, they said I couldn't vote unless somebody wasn't here.
Okay. So I will call the Conservation Commission meeting of August 17th, not the 18th. To order. Would you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Doctor, would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call. Start over here.
Gunter Hubert, present.
Ken Dennis, present.
Linda Dennis, here.
And Barry Connell, here. All right, agenda review. Any changes to, did you all get the agenda enough to be able to look at it?
I haven't had much time, so.
Yeah, we've tried, one of the things we've tried to do is, I send out a message, I didn't get any replies back, but, we'd like to have any, I'll send a message out about a week before
Okay,
to, if you've got any issues,
Something.
yeah,
Yeah.
send them to me. We'll
Okay.
Get them on the agenda.
okay.
Okay? Anything with the agenda review? Gunther?
No, nothing,
Ken?
nothing I
No.
think of.
Linda?
I'll start.
Okay.
Because we missed last time, you know,
Yeah.
we didn't have much, so. Ken and I.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. If you could add financial report?
Oh, supposed to have it here. It's here somewhere, according to Paul. Did he give it to you? He told me he was gonna put it right down here and leave it. Hey, Larry,
Hello.
I thought he was zooming in.
it isn't on your desk?
Grab a seat.
Nope, this is only.
Because I called him, in fact, called him today,
Nope.
and said I need to have a financial.
Has these there.
So a couple of things that I left off. Glad you're here, Larry.
Thank you.
One is acceptance of, oh no, I got it. Minutes. Yeah, okay. Agenda review. I have a couple of things I'd like to add under other. Brief discussion under action items. Meeting, we talked about meeting with the planning board. I'd like to have a quick discussion about what we might want to do with that. And I haven't been able to get a hold of anybody because I don't think they're meeting, are they? Maura?
The first, let's see, August was canceled
Yeah.
because nothing was posted. September, I have no clue.
Okay.
The town office, manager's office was asked to make sure that it happened on September. They're gonna have 2 months' worth of.
I was gonna say,
applications,
those
so-
are committees that need because there's people waiting for issues, you know. So I'd like to have a brief discussion of that.
How about, excuse me,
Go ahead.
how about, meeting with the selectmen in regards to a budget for us next year? When does that process start, I guess is the first
But when
question.
budget, we are going to put I was told we have to put a warrant article in.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
Okay.
And so we will make sure we do that.
When do we start that process?
Not for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
It could be done
Coming.
anytime and it can be held.
Yeah.
That way, because we did that with the planning board, with the
Okay.
shed ordinance. We didn't wait till the last minute because
Okay.
the year before,
Yeah.
you know,
I'll
we
talk-
had it and
Yeah.
it was just held in
Yeah,
Christina's
let me talk to Paul
computer.
about that. Okay, and then I'd like to just quickly talk about the natural resources inventory and bring in some information about that. Very quickly, I will state that someone asked at the last meeting, was any money set aside in the town for the master plan? No. Hasn't been any. That, he said that would be up to Christina, so when she gets back, maybe we can start doing that.
Who said it was up to,
Paul,
Paul did?
yeah, he said she'd have to request that,
I see.
okay? With that.
From the selectmen? I mean, what's her process?
Well, no, it's a budget, so I mean, they just have to, right now, if they're gonna do something with this budget, they just have to find money for it. But there seems to be little action by the planning board at this point
Huh.
on on building a new master plan.
Cause this is their baby.
Yes, it's there.
Oh, yeah.
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 This is
Yeah.
it.
And this was done in 2012. So we're probably due for a new one.
I think it was every decade, it was discussed
Okay, so
some time ago, I think, so it's,
you're right. You're right. So it
So
would be
it's-
due now.
yeah, it's,
But I have not yet, and when we meet with the
Yeah.
planning board, we can kind of talk about that. All right, go ahead.
Two other issues for the agenda.
Yep.
And I'd only propose these just to get them out there for, future consideration, but, the trees on Corbin Road.
State. As far as I know, Larry, it's been the state.
Yeah,
From everything that's there left, that's a state
State
road.
issue.
yeah. Well, I'd like to just talk about it and.
Okay,
and
we
see,
can do that.
Like I said, just to get it in the record tonight,
Yeah.
and then, think forward about what.
We'll do that under administration,
Yeah.
all right?
And one other thing, which, again, just to get it on the record to think about for the future is invasive species,
Okay.
catalog.
Yeah, I was reading about that today in our report, in our thing.
Yeah.
Okay, again, we'll do that under an action item.
I have a
Yes.
question. When we talk about invasive species, we talk about plant or animal, or both?
Well, I'm talking
Should be
about the
both.
land usually, but it could be both.
Okay, I'm just thinking, just one of those, I looked at it in here and said, okay, geez, it's,
Not people.
Should be people.
well, we are
that's
considered
an
animal, I think, right?
Okay, so we need to, I hope you've all read through the minutes for July 20th. Again, great job, Nora.
Yes.
Yeah, very good, very complete. I take a motion to accept the minutes for July 20, 2022.
Motion to accept.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Abstain, I wasn't here and I haven't had time to read
Okay,
it, so.
that's good. Okay, one abstention. I will clarify something. Not being here does not, if you've had a chance to read through it,
Yeah.
you can still.
But I haven't had a chance to.
No, good, thank you. Okay. All right, review of wetlands section of the master plan, under new business. I want to thank Gunther for getting all of us the master plan all together here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the first things that we began to list as a priority, did you get the priority listing?
Yep.
Okay. Was wetlands and the need to try to figure out, it's part of our duty, if you read into this, to identify wetlands. And so I tried to do some work on it today. This map that we have in here about wetlands is not very good.
What page is that?
That's on page 31.
Not very good, meaning what?
Can't rate it.
Distinction, can't
Yeah.
rate it.
Yes, I was thinking
Yeah.
the same thing. It'd be nice if
Yeah.
we could get it into
It did
a 16 by
identify,
32
Larger
sheet to
format.
really enlarge it.
yeah, it
Give us
did
more detail.
identify
I can get
what
it
wetlands
11
were.
by 17.
What's that?
11 by 17.
It's basically 2 sheets. That'll definitely give us some. I was hoping to get it even larger, I don't know if it's what's available as far as town records go, that could be enlarged,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
you know.
So, it does state in here a definition of wetlands. I can't find it. But anyway,
Page 29.
page 29, thank you.
Yeah.
29, and then I'll refer to 30. Wetlands have 3 attributes. The land supports predominantly hydrophytes, wetland plants. The soil substrate is predominantly undrained, hydric soil, and the substrate is saturated with water or covered by shallow water for at least 14 days during the growing season. So that was worth noting.
Yeah.
That's what we would be looking at in terms of that. And then on page 30, first full paragraph down, the Conservation Commission has several major responsibilities towards protection of the wetlands, including the opportunity to review and comment on any proposed local wetlands project in the New Hampshire Wetlands Bureau. And I did look that up. It wasn't particularly helpful for me.
Well,
Yeah.
is there such a thing as a New Hampshire Wetlands Bureau?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't,
Yeah, and the U.S.
Okay,
Army
makes
Corps of Engineers. Conservation is also responsible for inventorying and mapping wetlands. So that is something
That's
we
what
should
we-
be doing. And I wish Don was here, but he is well aware of the fact that there are many, many more wetlands than
Yeah.
have been identified
Yeah.
Right.
here. So I wanted to talk about, this would be our first foray into doing something in terms of the inventory, natural resources
Right.
inventory. And so this would be part of that, of which we're paying. We're not gonna get any help from the town in regards to that. So
Say that again?
we're not gonna get any help from the town.
In order to map out wetlands that
Well,
are
at
in our
this
town.
point- At this point, I was told, Christina was told, I wasn't told. Christina was told that it would be coming out of our wealth of money. So maybe we need to discuss that with.
That is wrong.
Yeah, well, we can, I think maybe when you mentioned talking with the select board, I can tell you we will not have the support of certain people. But I think it bears, I'm very dismayed in the fact that there seems to be no help forthcoming from the town from a monetary standpoint. And that's part of why I asked them if there was any money set aside for the master plan.
Right,
If
right.
there was, we should be able to get that. So that's a potential area we need to begin to research.
Yeah,
With that. Because our $35,000 was referred to as a war chest.
Yeah.
I guess we're over that. So,
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
yes.
If I remember correctly, Hunter, said that you, would get money from the town for the NRI. Now, the NRI does include wetlands.
No, when I say, I was told we're
Now,
not gonna get any
I
money
heard
from.
him, his mouth
Yeah.
was moving.
Yeah, but then he, oh, well, I don't, maybe we will get some help. Doesn't hurt to ask
Right,
with it. What did happen was the money that Christina was gonna set into
Aside.
Well,
our,
that was the $2,000.
Yeah.
This is on top
yeah,
of
I
that.
agree with you. He's not allowing that.
He's reneging, in other words.
Yeah, he's not allowing
he's reneging on allowing
that.
Christina.
Christina was gonna give us $2,000.
He's reneging on that,
Yeah,
right, but he's not reneging on,
I guess I overstated. I guess he's not. Hopefully he's not.
Hopefully he's not.
No.
Don't say he's not.
Yeah.
Just say, hopefully he's
No,
not.
it was more like the $20,000 that he said that we would need. I
Yeah.
have it on tape, you want me to find it?
Well, you don't do it now, but I will come back to it with him.
Yeah.
And let him know. I mean,
Okay.
I think he, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. He's gonna have to say it publicly, so.
Well, the only thing I would say to that is I remember the issue that we had when he was here with, he said so long as we had projects, they would be willing to look at a budget for projects. So
Well, we got a project.
this would be a project.
yeah.
All right, so what I'm wondering is how to proceed with this. If it's part of the NRI, we were gonna hire somebody. Now, my original thought was Larry, is it Larry Shue? Lionel Shue
Lionel Shue, yeah.
said he could come back and show us how to use all the stuff. I don't know if any of us have time to do that. I mean, I tried to get on it today, and and I'm pretty good with internet, and it's not gonna be an easy task. My preference would be to hire somebody, get them going, and we'll focus first on wetlands. But that's my position. I'd open it up to other people. Yes,
I propose one thing, and looking at the map, it looks like this came off the,
what page you want?
this is the map on page
31.
31.
Yeah.
The National Wetlands Inventory.
Yeah.
That's, looks like it's easily 11 years old or longer, so
Yeah.
the national inventory may have been updated.
Well, that's kind of what I tried to look at today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could, if we could bring this back in a month, I could use this month, starting tomorrow, to try to work with Lionel. I'm out at the county complex at least weekly.
Because he said he'd help us.
And I would I'd jump on that first and see if he and I can coordinate.
Okay, so
in
you're
a couple
gonna,
hours.
good. Well, let's start there then, before we go and hire somebody.
Yeah.
And maybe, does he feel he could do the NRI?
I don't know, I didn't get the sense that that was something he
He'd want.
probably was
Yeah.
offering to do. I think he was offering to be
Consultant.
yeah.
He was very helpful.
resource.
The meeting was very good.
Yeah, it was very, very good, but I think he was offering to be a resource
Okay.
in ways to get us some, get us,
Going.
what, 80%
Yeah.
of the way to what we want
Yeah.
to know?
Yeah, because my point at the last meeting was, if we can get information ahead of time, it might not cost as much.
And we know from, at least what I recall from the presentation from the gentleman from down
Yeah.
Hinsdale area,
Yeah.
is that a good deal of their work is just grabbing stuff that's already been done
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
the feds and the state.
Okay. So, I appreciate it. You're gonna kind of begin to move towards that.
Yeah.
Let us know next
Yeah,
month where you
yeah,
are.
I'll-
Yeah.
I'll
Good.
kind of
Also, I would like to suggest that Christina contact New London, because New London did I met the person who was doing the,
And all right.
yes, the wetlands resource, for the town of New London, so.
We
So
don't
that
have-
was just
We
recently
don't have
done.
Christina anymore for a while.
Oh,
She's out.
oh,
Until most probably the end of September.
okay. Well, I'll try to call New London then and find out who did it.
I've asked Maura to help us out with it.
Okay,
We are.
yeah. Let me try to find out.
Not the NRI, but like she prepared this stuff tonight.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, it's helpful for me, I mean,
All
I'd
right.
like to suggest a raise for Maura.
Yeah.
well, we're gonna pay her for what she's doing for us,
Good, thank you.
but it is coming out of our commission money,
We gotta
Out of
spend
what?
some.
commission money.
Coming out of the bank.
I just get tired of arguing, I mean,
I don't understand how bodies operate in town if they don't have any money.
well, we've
I
gotta
mean-
find ways to get it money, we can talk about that.
All right.
Okay?
Well, I will call New London.
Okay,
And
thank
that
you.
would be-
Yes.
Linda's
that would
gonna
be a
call.
Non-public session, I think.
Yeah, probably should be, yeah.
Yeah, the gentleman was Jeff Littleton from Moosewood Ecological.
Okay, good.
I got the note here.
And he'd be willing to do it.
And he mentioned a
Yeah.
basic NRI to be $6,000 to $8,000. Alternatively, $10,000 to $12,000 would provide for a much more dynamic NRI that provides better natural resource representation to help refine existing data such as wetlands, grasslands, vernal pools.
Yeah.
This is something in the email to Larry.
You know what a fen is? That was in there.
I don't.
Just land with water running over it, that's all. It's in there, to use a fen, I had to look it up.
Oh,
Yeah, so.
What
Yeah, so-
was his name again?
Jeff Littleton.
But he was pretty clear that a good deal of their work is
Already out
computer
there.
work at the desk, and their work is rarely field work unless
Right.
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
gonna be spending.
Oh, I know.
I met the field person in New London and she was out there hoofing it.
So a good deal of, you know, quite a bit of the way to where we want to be with mapping out this stuff may be
Already done,
done.
yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, if I can just digress for a minute, I do have one other thing. I'd like to begin to talk about the review of the conservation lands that we have and how we get about doing that. Did you get my message about the red folders?
No,
Okay.
would you like them? I can go and get them.
Not tonight, but next meeting, we ought to have those red folders.
I mean, it's like opening a drawer and.
Yeah.
Yes.
taking them
Okay.
out.
Nothing to.
Yeah, yeah.
But that should be coming up for us to do
Well, we
this
said
fall.
we'd do it in the fall,
Right,
yeah.
so that's good.
Okay, that's good.
You could do that.
You can
But we
continue.
have
I that
other-
recorder.
We have other areas that we still should be looking at too.
For instance,
I don't know. John brought this up, that we've got other areas that need to be looked at. So I'll wait till he shows up.
but our actual reporting is
Is to, on
on
what,
the
5?
state, yeah, the 5.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
are
then
to
there's
the
a map
state.
in here about those.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So we'll talk about that later. Anything else on the wetlands?
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, to that end, Lionel Shute at his presentation did mention courses for
Yes.
novice.
Yeah.
So I went to Seth Wilner at our county extension, and he helped me track down, or in this case, not track down. There aren't really courses run regularly through the UNH extension. But subsequent to that, I contacted by email the New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions. Barbara Richer got back.
Yeah, yeah.
And at their annual conference, there will be breakout sessions. I didn't have enough, I breakout sessions regarding wetlands, but more apropos to training novices, wetlands delineation training, and this is going to be through UNH
Yeah.
in the fall, October 10th through 14th. I'm not sure if it's, I got the message back from UNH, but it's going to be over in Williston, Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a tuition course, but if I have time, it's something I might be interested in doing, you know, sort of position myself as
Yeah.
maybe somebody
Excellent.
with a little education
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
matter.
Now, I want to go back, you mentioned there's a conference coming up.
The New Hampshire Association.
Yeah, when is that? I know I've got it.
I honestly don't know, but what she said is, conference will, the conference will have 3 breakout sessions, so she just answered my questions, sort of expecting that I knew when the conference is, but it must be
Yeah,
on
I'd
the
like,
website.
I'd like to have,
Yeah.
have representation at that conference. I think that would be excellent.
NHACC.
I've got it. Yeah, I've got it in my,
So it's
in my email.
probably,
Yeah.
and I didn't go back to open up the webpage,
Hmm.
but, you know, depending on how that works out.
Yeah, good. Well, I appreciate your offering to do that. Excellent, good. But I'd like to see us, I'll find out and send a message out when that conference is.
Try
and-
this one.
Try it.
Is that
If we-
the annual New Hampshire?
Yes,
Thank you.
I think it would be great to have representation there. I don't think we've ever done it.
Now, not that I ever was.
That's October
What's
10th
that?
through the 14th.
Cliff Richard?
I was gonna say, it was.
Did he?
It was a while ago.
Well,
That's
that's good.
No, that's a workshop specifically for educating on delineation of wetlands. But there are wetlands breakout sessions at the
Annual.
association conference,
Okay, I'll try to
which we
find
don't
out.
know when that is.
All right, and I'll send out an email about that. I'm having trouble with my emails. Sometimes they go, sometimes they don't.
I get
I don't know. Okay, any more, thank you, Larry. Any more information on wetlands? Under action items, administration, review and adopt the new rules of procedures, rules of procedure. And you all got the copy that we looked at a couple of copies last time, and then Maura had some changes that she wanted to have, that she felt needed to be in there.
No, requested that you consider.
Yeah, and I have looked at them all, I've looked at all 3. I don't know if you've had a chance to do that.
In the packet is the,
Yep. Yeah. There was one that oh, okay, yeah, no, that's okay.
Is your corrections in red?
Red, yes.
Yours are red.
Yeah. So I take any questions or concerns that people have. I've read through this a couple of times, and I've read through the others. I think the corrections that Maura has done add to the
Clarity.
clarity of the rules and procedure process. And it's grammatically correct.
Why she deserved
Only a
that?
question or and one comment. In Article 9A, the difference between should and shall. Is shall a requirement that there must be?
and it's the same verb, only a different tense.
Yeah,
So it's either may which is you can if you want. Shall or should is you are required to.
Would we be in violation of our own rules and procedure if we do not hold a meeting for, say, this particular one that was questioned tonight because,
I believe it's only planning board that has that RSA stating that it shall meet every month.
okay, so this is, okay.
They are required by law to meet every month.
So
Okay, but
why
if
wouldn't we keep it
If
should?
we don't have a requirement, or,
No.
would it
No.
be shall, or would it be should that we want to have in that?
Should.
Well, it's-
Well, I think it should be, it doesn't mean, shall would mean it has to.
I'm just asking a question, if we, does that one word force us into actually
Okay,
having
so
a
you
meeting?
would like it to
I'm just,
stay,
I just, I don't,
That's
I
a
don't
very
care, I
good
just don't want to
question.
put us in a situation that down the road, if we
Yeah.
say, well, you know,
Is it
nobody's
a,
interested this month, or nobody read the agenda.
I'm not aware of an RSA that says that we
No.
are,
have to.
yeah, that we have to.
But I think
So,
should,
should.
should be the
If we
better.
just use the word that it conforms with the fact that,
So how would you, which verb, would you like that at least one meeting?
Should
Should.
should.
Should, okay.
be held each month. Okay.
And if
Good.
it happens to be a month, we call the meeting for, you know, no real agenda.
Right.
Right.
There just isn't any work for us that month.
Yeah.
We won't
Good.
be in violation of our
Right,
own.
okay.
Barry, I do have a question, related to this, but not.
Go ahead.
Do you know, Maura, do you know if we are governed by or had accepted Robert's rules to be established for the Conservation Commission as such? Because I just learned that Robert's rules has to be adopted into your meeting. So like I was stating about Robert's rules the night that Larry was zooming from out and now I'm, if it wasn't
Not sure.
adopted within to the, that's what I'm,
Think of the other boards, whether it has it.
No, they run by Roberts, should be, I know the planning board and zoning board are supposed to run by Roberts rules.
but the question was,
Well,
Was
they
it
have
adopted?
but they have their own, procedure that they have to follow, because one does accepting application and then,
Yeah.
you know, questions, blah, blah, blah. Zoning board has all of the specific questions that so they have their own format that they have to follow. But Robert's rules,
Hmm.
put
Could
it
we
to a
find
vote, do you want to?
well, that's what I don't know that, I was wondering whether the Conservation Commission as a committee had already done that. We would be going by,
I don't know.
If they had already done it, it would be in the
Rules of procedure.
I do
Yeah.
believe.
and it's
Yeah.
not.
Principal of business,
So I'm
mission, services.
asking,
Yeah. I don't know.
And-
I kinda like the way we run it now, I don't change it.
I think loosely we use.
Yeah, we do.
A form of
Yeah.
Robert's rules, you know.
Yeah.
but that's it, I mean, loosely and whether it's really.
We have our,
I-
no, yeah, that's a good
I
point.
believe that it's covered under E-hearings.
Where are you?
Where is that?
That is on page 3 at the very bottom. Hearings, yeah. Probably the first sentence. And after the
That's
first
public hearings.
sentence,
Yeah.
after the
that's-
first sentence, it states that, the public hearing, and that would be more of an official type of,
Yeah,
meeting
public hearings, you
closure.
have to
Yeah,
follow
that's-
a
that's
very prescribed
sort of a
issue, you have to
guideline.
read it
Yeah.
exactly the way it's supposed to be read. So,
Yeah. So this is, you know, it's a public or informational is what has always been in there. So you can consider this to be informational
Yeah.
and, everybody, so let's see. There's one board that runs by modified Robert's Rules of Order, which means they don't have a parliamentarian, that's the correct
That's right.
terminology
Yeah.
word, that makes sure that everything is,
Yeah.
Conducted.
Well, I think we have more or less that aspect. You know, we've got an agenda that we're following, we have, if there's somebody zooming, we have to follow a prescribed
Correct,
process
with
with
the-
that.
for
The way we
voting.
take our votes is within the limits of Robert's rules.
So as chair, you could poll the commission and see how they feel.
Yeah, do you feel there's a need for change, folks? To more direct Robert's rules?
Well, I don't think you can go back and state Robert's rules if you haven't
I don't
adopted
follow it.
that as a
Good
follow,
point, good point.
you know? I mean,
Yeah. Well, let's put that aside for now. and
yeah,
Maybe
I-
in a year or so, we can discuss that.
when I forget about it.
When you're off the committee.
I'll be off.
That's a year or so.
Okay,
One last thing.
Go ahead, Larry.
Under Article 7C, duties of chair, could we also insert just preside at all meetings, develop the agenda, and call the meeting to order?
Does it say that I will develop the agenda?
Well, who is the agenda, or approve the agenda, or something?
I wrote this one,
Okay.
but normally it's Christina, all
Well,
right?
I think,
The chair is supposed to,
Me.
uh,
I'm supposed to
make up
meet
the
with Christina,
agenda.
yeah,
or, I mean, if not physically, then say, Christina, these are the things to go
Yeah,
on the agenda.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then she is to
Yeah.
type it up for, be your
That's also
secretary.
why I sent it out this time, never received a response, maybe you didn't get it. I'd like to have input from you people
Sure.
prior to the development of
and I think that's what you do anyway.
Yeah.
I think if we just put it in there, I think generally the
Okay.
chair of.
So what did you want to have in there?
Or just maybe, the chair shall preside at all meetings, comma, develop agenda, or say approve agenda. You know, it doesn't have to be that,
Yeah,
you know,
I think if you say approve agenda, then that way we all do have input to give to you.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I would just, I think it's a duty, I think it's something that the chair does.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think we should just,
Yeah.
should be in there,
Have you got that, Maura?
approve agenda,
Approve the monthly agenda.
yeah.
Yeah. Of course, at our select board meeting, we found it interesting that the
We'll not go there.
chairperson just took one out.
It's,
I took it
let's
out.
not go there. Okay. Call the meeting to order and shall appoint any, okay, because you're presiding. Appoint any subcommittees.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
I will add that.
anything else?
Okay.
So, what we could do at this point, if there are no further changes, is ask, in this case, we'll ask Maura to make this
A clean copy.
a clean copy, and we'll vote on it at the next meeting. Okay? Is that okay with everybody?
Yes. I think it's a
Oh,
good idea.
now I did change something in here, I wanna make sure that it's okay. The chair prepares a proposed budget, and I
Yes.
put that in there
I saw that.
because that's what you've been talking about for a couple of years, okay? And you don't, you don't file an annual report, but you write an article
Write an
for
article.
it, okay? So I
Yeah.
changed those,
Okay,
and those
good.
were two
Yeah, I caught
blatant things.
Yeah.
I caught that,
So,
yeah.
wanted to
But-
make sure.
If we're gonna, I will prepare it, but I certainly want input.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I was
Okay.
thinking that.
Okay?
You could read that as such.
And the signature page, is that
Yeah, it's fine.
everybody's?
Yep. And we'll sign that at the next meeting, if it's approved. Yep. Okay?
Did everybody see the signature page? Yeah, the one that's upside down.
Yeah, okay, good. The alternate won't be signing.
There
Unless,
is no alternate.
yeah,
There is none.
okay. Enough said.
To be determined.
Okay, I wanted to take a few minutes to just look at the priorities and make sure everybody has a clear understanding of those. You've got the red folders, I don't want to do anything with that tonight, but under,
You could take those home.
in fact, I will.
If you,
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
if you declassify those, you could take those home.
Have a standing order.
Now, there are also large maps, I believe that they're surveys of each of the properties. The top one here is the Johnson
Okay.
property.
Yep.
I don't know what's in there, I have never used them.
Little-
Ken has, Linda has, I
Are
don't
these
know if there's a
all I
map.
need to look at
Yeah.
right now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good.
Okay, I will return this to.
Because we have, just to repeat, what we have to do is prepare a report for the state on conservation lands, and the fact we've gone out and walked the land, see that every boundaries are okay, things of that nature.
That's only lands that we've received state money for?
It's
Those-
L-chip, right?
L-chip.
L-chip, that's right, it is L-chip. Yeah,
Yep.
So
and
some-
these are the ones.
Yep,
Yeah,
there are 4 of them.
yeah, yeah.
Not that we shouldn't inventory, but
Yeah.
if the commission somehow with all this money we're sitting on, were able to buy some wetlands or
Yeah.
dry lands,
Yeah.
you would still have to inventory them, but it's not as
Yeah.
extensive as L-chip
Right.
purchase.
So we need to do that. I'll have that, a more understanding of that at the next meeting. So we'll include that on the agenda for the next meeting. Okay?
And check on the checklist that's in there. Christina was gonna add one line concerning, was it wetlands or invasive species?
Oh, cool. So,
You had directed her to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
so the checklist is on the inside.
Yeah, yeah, okay, good.
Have you-
Thank you.
Have, Gunther and Larry, have you seen these folders? No.
Don,
I have not.
Don has, yeah. On the inside of each of the folders,
home.
it's pretty extensive on each of the
Okay.
properties.
Gunther's gonna take them home.
Gunther is?
Yeah.
Okay,
I can drop them off. Barry's not far away,
okay,
Across the street.
all right.
literally.
When my mail gets delivered to wrong, brings it over, FedEx packages delivered to him, all with me. Okay, now I had under review conservation land boundaries, meet with members of the Land Conservation Stewardship Program. Don't know why that's in there, don't know what it's all about.
Review,
that would be
say that
state.
again? I don't see-
Meet with members of the Land Conservation Stewardship Program. I think Dawn mentioned that.
I'm
That's
trying to
state.
find the paper, but my understanding is that we are required, or that somebody from the stewardship program
Could come up
is
with a view.
supposed to come out on an annual basis and walk the boundaries.
Of what?
The easement properties we have, which are 4.
The L-chip.
Oh, the L-chip ones?
Yeah.
I will check into that. Good.
Was that that lady that Don was talking about?
Dawn mentioned this,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
all right. The next one is secure an operating budget, which we will do, and I'm not gonna wait very long, I think, probably get into October, I'll take.
I was gonna say October is
Yeah,
pushing it.
yeah. Is it, you think?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's something we need to,
I know.
yeah.
Well, I'll try to do the best I can for September then,
Yeah,
and I'll call for input from you guys
Okay.
in the process. I just wish Christina was around, because she has a better understanding.
I mean, just to touch on that, I mean, we have some projects. We have some things that we could use that are gonna need to generate some money, so,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly,
this,
yeah.
so that could be the budget that
Yeah,
we're
exactly,
proposing.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
you people could throw back, we'll give you half or none, or all of it,
All
or,
right,
yeah.
good.
Mr. Chair, you do have a member of the board that is, you know, he is a veteran in writing up the budgets.
Jim? Oh, okay, I thought you meant
He
select
used
board.
to be, you know, the
Okay.
manager, he used to be,
So,
buildings and
anything you
grounds.
wanna do, put it together, give it to me, and I'll,
Okay.
all right, good,
Sorry, Ken.
thank you.
Thank you, Mara.
Barry,
Go ahead.
I have a question.
No raise.
Does the Conservation Commission budget, does it share in some of the timber tax revenues?
Nope,
No, nothing.
It's not,
We
because,
get nothing.
okay, because it seems like when I went through all the years of the Conservation Commission annual reports, it seems like at some point during some years,
They did.
there was some funding that came from the timber tax into the budget for the Conservation
there was.
Commission.
They did.
Okay.
And then it stopped and we never got it back. I'm
Okay.
not quite
So,
sure.
that's
There
part
was
of what I
no
want.
budget,
whether-
by the way. We have no budget.
Yeah, we have no budget.
Right, okay,
We
yeah,
put- we
right,
put-
we've been talking, yes.
Yeah,
We-
okay.
We put in for no budget, but those are all monies that
Could come.
other commissions
Yeah, yeah.
generate
And
their
so,
money.
Right.
part of
budget.
what I want to do is, with the warrant article, is bring that to the town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know it might not get
yeah.
much,
But we gotta get the information out there for
Yeah.
at least people to
yeah,
understand it or
Yeah.
not understand it,
yeah.
or,
So at the next town meeting, there should be a warrant article in there for us to receive at least 10% of the timber tax, if not 50.
yeah, and that's what I was just gonna say, is if we could find out just what, you know, percentage of the commissions get, or
Well, it's between 10 and 50.
is it 10
Yeah.
and 50?
10 to 50.
Do you know what the revenue from the timber tax is
I asked Paul,
It's-
should
per year? And
he
you don't,
get back to me?
you didn't?
They just received money.
Yeah.
So,
There's been a lot of trees getting
There's been
cut
a
down.
lot.
Oh, I know,
Lot
this
of
year.
Standing there,
What's that?
keep on standing there, I'm still waiting, it's 9 months, I'm waiting for a financial question.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, we were supposed to have a financial report tonight. In fact, I talked to him about 3 o'clock. He said, oh yeah, I'll leave it down.
I'll have it, I'll have it on the desk.
Checks in the mail.
Mara's right, I used to sit there.
Yeah. And he means well.
I'll wait.
I like Paul.
I love Paul.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, complete work on the, build funding for purchase of conservation lands.
So that could be some of it.
Yeah, yeah. Complete work on the NRA over time. And the first thing we're gonna work on is the wetlands, and you're gonna kinda head that up a little bit right now, Larry. Thank you. Meet with the planning board. I gotta find out if they're meeting. I was told they weren't meeting,
The last meeting was canceled.
yeah.
Um,
But I can contact, who's the chairperson?
David
Dave.
doesn't answer any emails. You would contact Joanne.
Okay. Good, that's good to know.
So I thought we just said that they had to meet.
We did. And they were ready to meet until the town canceled it. And it's something that we don't talk about on camp.
Oh, okay.
God.
It said find out if the town has set aside money for the master plan development. The answer to that is no. Not yet was the answer that I got. We wanted, in fact, next time I'd like to spend more time on, a little time on public relations and things that we can do to get out to the community. I've spoken to a couple of different groups about what we're doing. But I think we can do more with that, in terms of public relations and getting the message out. Because that's the best way to gather votes.
And I think too, talking with business people, realtors,
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice to have some realtors on our side. You know, when they list a property, why can't they say to the people,
We're trying
this
to-
might
yeah.
work as a
Well, the thing is,
conservation
yeah,
easement, you know?
Conservation Committee could also, I feel, work more closely with the rec department to get out. We've got a lot of hiking trails, we've got a lot of areas, I don't know if we're gonna pick that back up again, getting out to,
maybe do some,
Yeah.
clean some of the trails. I think that would be a good outreach,
yeah,
because I know that the high school kids used to do part of their community service hours,
Yes.
we talked about,
Yeah.
as part of
Yeah.
helping clean the trails.
yeah,
I think that's a good
yeah.
use of their time and them learning.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Sure.
Has there been cleaning or that ended up being dry?
Well, they had one day they went, and started cleaning the trail, Pinnacle.
Mainly a brush clearing
Yeah.
and that sort of thing.
So what happened to the boardwalk?
Uh,
Because that's where we met and that's what we were gonna do first. No? Was
Well,
I,
we could,
There was some talk about clearing
Was
some of
I-
the, some of
was
the
I wrong?
material and also rebuilding the boardwalk. We're
well,
doing
yeah, pushing back some of the
the-
thing, but he said to be careful about that.
Yeah, because we're still kind of novice when it comes to all the different
Yeah.
species
Yeah.
of.
He said
The
Sometimes
buck-
when you
yeah,
cut
it's
it,
all buckthorn down there, which
Yeah.
is
Oh,
invasive.
yeah, that was the word.
Yeah.
Don organized
Yeah.
a Friday or something where we went up, but Don said, let's go do some clearing up Pinnacle, open the views.
well, I know we had a meeting at the boardwalk to,
well, that
With-
meeting
with
was
the
to
invasive
look at
and then-
invasive.
yeah, but that was Don's baby, if I remember right. I don't wanna
Yeah.
speak for Don, but that's,
Well, let's,
we were gonna get
yeah,
down
let
there
me
and,
see what I can
and
find out.
before
Yeah.
we chose to do, we chose to do that,
yeah,
we brought in,
yeah, and, yeah, he said be careful about cutting, I know that.
We, we walked along the boardwalk again a different time, Don and I, and he recalled that the state forester or the expert who came in was seemed a little putting the kibosh on the idea of clearing away a lot of the buckthorn
Yeah,
and whatnot.
okay, 'cause it-
His feeling was it
Yeah.
would only,
But you went to
I
that.
didn't get that at all. I mean, he told us that it's there and you could cut it back and you
Well,
won't
yeah.
stop it from growing, is what he
well, we
said.
should probably talk about that then next meeting. when
Okay.
Don's here again.
Because I'm willing to go out,
But I shouldn't be talking, I wasn't able to be there for either end.
I didn't
but-
go to the first, that one, he's my,
I thought you went to the meeting with the.
he went to the meeting,
did.
yes, he
Yeah.
did.
I was not able to be there to help clear that
Right.
area. And then we went out for a walk the other night to see what was done and nothing was
Yeah,
done.
nothing's
so.
been done there, and the boardwalk, you know, it's kind of a, do some. little-
Yeah, work on that, and we should contact the school to see if they're willing to do, because they used to keep that up.
Yeah,
That would be Sam Nelson.
Yeah, I know Sam very well, I helped him get his certification, so.
I think it's all worth doing, but I do believe the boardwalk was
Priority.
constructed, no, not priority, was constructed and built by the Conservation Commission
Was it?
way, yes,
I realize
way back with
Yeah.
the,
Okay,
so I think,
can you put that down to include that on next meeting, discussion of the boardwalk? Good, thank you. Review Conservation District Ordinance, no idea what that's all about. So let's skip over that. Okay, then I had others. Oh, yeah. Trees on invasive species. meeting with the planning board. Yep. Trees on Corbin Road. Did you want to say any more about that, Larry?
Well, I drive it, because I live up there, but there's certainly,
Dangerous.
yeah, there are a lot of trees that are just standing dead, you know. It was sort of the iconic road in town 30 years ago when we moved to town. It was like literally the first place,
Is that a state road?
Yes.
not the whole of it.
No,
To the
just
bridge.
just after our properties, up by
It's-
the end of the Black's property. You can see where the road changed just before
So it is state
Railroad.
road, it is state road from Route 10
To where the pavement,
Railroad.
the new pavement ends?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, having had
Didn't know.
2 or 3 of the big pines go down on our property over the years, I know the state has no interest in doing any of that work.
We used to run into it with the highway department when I was on the highway, and we would have trees come down and
But I don't know if it's in the purview of the Conservation Commission, but it certainly is trees, and there's certainly a lot of trees
It's in
that
our
ought to be
purview,
managed. And I don't know how we leverage that, but there's lots of dead standing pine. There doesn't look like there's new pine that are gonna replace them. You know, it's hardwood, or it's a lot of invasive brush on the roadside. Driving in tonight, I realized that leading up to the bridge from the highway, if there was a cut in of all the underbrush, you know, you'd expose some beautiful old stone walls, and that would be just a beautification issue. But standing dead trees, of which there's easily half a dozen pines standing dead, and probably another half dozen of those old pines that just really ought to come down. And maybe 8 years ago or so, a couple of them were taken. I'm not sure what the state's rationale was for doing that, but they really need to take more. And,
I will take it upon myself to go out and visit the division person for that roadway.
For the state?
Yeah.
Good, thank you. Good.
I think, you know, number one, it's a safety issue.
Yep.
High winds, the road is a mess, and if you have, you know, someday somebody might be driving under wind, and one of the big dead limbs is gonna crash into the windshield of
Yep.
their car.
So you're gonna look into that? I appreciate
I
that.
will.
Good.
I think long-term management too, to kind of restore that road in some way too. Like I said, I guess, I kind of thought it was the iconic road. People would take a ride
Right.
up there
Yeah.
because of the beautiful.
Right.
I also heard that there was some history, like a covenant about the trees. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know
They were
about that.
planted, you know, had to go through.
I heard that too, but I don't know.
That might have been
Well,
an old rural myth.
No, I don't think so.
The
But
the
really
property that was just sold on the riverside, that 22 acres or whatever it was, just before the bridge, as you're coming in off the airport,
Uh-huh.
it'll be on your right-hand side. There's somebody building a cabin out there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Actually, Laura's father-in-law, that was part of the school program
Yeah,
that planted all those red pines
Okay.
in there,
yeah.
that I had heard about years ago.
Well, there needs to be some serious management of
Yeah.
the trees on that road.
Good. Okay, so, good luck.
I'll go out there, yeah, I've got a feeling I know what it's
Yeah.
gonna be, but,
Yeah, yeah.
But if that's
yeah,
the case, what, I mean, can you sue the state and say, listen, well, what, do we have leverage?
you could sue
Well,
anybody for anything,
yeah,
but,
sue 'em.
I wonder if they,
I mean, I'm not saying
I
we
wonder
sue,
if
what
they-
is our leverage if the state says, to heck with it, you know, we'll just let them
well,
crash?
I'm trying to look on the other, I'm trying to think on the other side quickly. I wonder if there's historical road preservation within the state.
There is, but there might be a designation now.
So,
You know, if the road hasn't been designated a historical road.
it's true. Well, then maybe we could do that.
So you're gonna go find out?
I'm gonna go out and
Good.
talk to
I
him.
appreciate that.
You probably should ask, Cliff too,
Oh, yeah.
if there's any covenant on those trees, cause I remember talking about that,
It was something
Yeah.
way back.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's something there,
I
and I don't know
Yeah,
where to
I
look
don't
for
know
it or
either.
what,
Yeah.
um, but,
Okay, invasive species. Did you wanna talk a little bit about that?
Well, the only other thing is,
Go
if
ahead.
we wanna think about it down the road, you know, once we clear away a lot of the things that we have on our plate, I don't know if the density of invasive species is part of a standard NIR, natural resources
It is.
inventory. But I'd like to have that part of something we will look at.
Yep.
In the future, because I'm looking at some of these roadways, and seeing how much honeysuckle and burning bush and Virginia creeper and some of those others are just really overtaking.
Okay.
Buckthorn.
Yeah,
Well, buckthorn is out there.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
maybe that'd be part of what we do down the road.
Well, it should be.
Mapping Wetlands,
Should be.
and mapping
Yeah.
the density of invasive species
Yeah.
around the
yeah,
Yeah,
community.
that's why at some point, we need to have a person who will guide us in that process, because that invasive species is part of it. And so, I'd like to sit down, whoever if we're gonna bring somebody in, sit down with them and say, these are the things that we really want to look at.
This was last time.
Doe, I don't know. Yeah,
Because Dode, the guy that we met out,
Yeah.
he said he would be willing to come in and talk to us about different invasive.
Yeah,
But
he
maybe
was
we
a
can
cooperative extension,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
he was part of our conversation when I was talking with Seth about the wetlands.
Would Seth want to come in and talk to us?
Yeah, if we have something that, I'm sure he'd be glad to talk to us
Okay.
sometime about, if we had
Specific talk.
some specific, couple things we wanted to
Okay.
talk about, I think he'd love to talk to us.
Good.
but another idea with the invasive species part is if we could partner with, the new owners of Catherine Gardens. I think they're real sensitive about invasive species, and, we could try a public, informational thing,
Well, that's
Plant,
the thing.
plant this, not this,
As Lionel said, you gotta get out and talk to people.
right,
And they're a
Right.
little, some people are very, they're concerned, they don't wanna be told they have invasive.
right, oh, absolutely.
So,
Some
Yeah.
like it. They think it's
yeah.
growth
looks
is
good.
growth.
Yeah.
No, my mother and grandmother loved every invasive species,
Yeah.
and they didn't know it was invasive.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's right,
That's
yeah.
why,
Burning
that's
bush
why we
in
have it,
October,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
that's why we have it
And
today.
that's part of the landscaping piece. Landscapers do not understand what's invasive. They only know to plant plant it,
Yeah.
they don't know
I think
what it is.
there's more awareness of it now, but you're right.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, and that could be a piece of partnering or educating homeowners, because left unchecked.
Oh, yeah, oh,
like,
yeah,
the break from your land to your stone wall, to
Right,
your
right.
little glade is gonna be overrun, and
Right.
that's the kind of stuff
Right.
that
Yeah.
Right.
people may have a real interest in.
Yeah,
Saying,
Yeah.
let's stop it now before.
We could hire Gunther's father-in-law, he's good at weed whacking and get that all done, yeah.
Especially when it cools down a little bit.
Yeah. He's out there when it's 100 degrees.
Yes.
Yeah.
don't
Laura, you had a
point out
comment.
all that
Yes,
invasive
I
down
brought
the line.
out
Yeah.
the meadow send,
what is that?
huh?
let's
What's
see,
that along the rim?
assessment and
Buckthorn.
agreement for all of the conservation
We
lands
had the
that,
barberry.
let's see, Linda.
This or that?
No, that's what you're holding in your
Yeah.
hand. And, that ties in with the Gilsum Pond, and what they're doing out there. Todd Cartier was gonna come and talk about the work that they're doing about invasive species. My question is, does anybody know about what Laura and Jeremy will do for the Conservation Commission concerning educating you, about talking with you, about going out to any place on, in Newport and identifying, because you have contracted with them.
But we're done. We're done contracting
Oh,
with them.
you are?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's DOD, it
Yeah.
would be DOD,
Mhm.
Okay.
you know,
From,
yeah.
Okay, so when we get to that, gonna work on the wetlands for a while, and then we'll go to
Yeah.
invasive species.
Yeah, I really think it's
Yeah.
important,
Yep.
yeah.
Good.
And Don's all on board with the invasives.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And
Good.
certainly, when, in the fall, when the leaves go, it's much easier to identify the burning bush or the barberry out in the woods. And you just go and try to yank it out, you know, so.
So, should we read through this, or what do you? Then you've got another one up here about,
And that's a different one.
I'd like to look at this.
I will let you.
Yeah, okay, good. I don't know if anybody wants to look at this forest management program plan.
Yeah, that's what,
That's one of the three, or do
yeah,
we do
there's one out
four?
there for Gilman Pond and.
Gilman Pond,
that one was
what is that?
Maple Street.
Maple Street, we did
Yeah.
Maple Street, Gilman Pond, and then
Was it Barton, Johnson,
Barton is,
Johnson and Town Forest, I think.
Town Forest?
I think it was just Town Forest.
so I've got property cards. Are they supposed to go with that?
I just
Okay.
took everything.
I'm gonna look through this. I'm gonna give this to Gunther, because he said he wanted to look through it.
Sure.
I'll take it and put it back.
Did you see that, Gunther?
Did you wanna see
He
the?
wants those.
Yeah,
I wanna
Larry?
look at
I'll
this
look,
one.
I'll look through
Larry,
this.
did you want
I
to see
think
this?
this seems like this ties
not
with
right now.
these.
Yeah.
Is there only one
Yeah.
copy?
Yeah. I think
I'm
that
sorry,
this is,
They're in the office.
That is a copy of what, forest?
it's, the forest management plan that the Conservation, Commission had done by, Meadowsend.
Okay.
In New London.
Meadow scent, yes,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
That was
What year
the
was that?
This is, this is, January 2018.
Yeah,
Wow, well,
2 years before.
So if I can take it home, maybe I'll.
It's
Yeah,
the-
okay.
Now, this one is only for Maple Street.
Barry, could you declassify that?
I will, amen, brother. Take it. I have a standing order.
And actually, Laura French would like to log that Maple Street with horses.
But it's something we need to talk about before.
No, that's another project that we could
Okay.
take
Yeah.
on.
All right. Good.
Because we could get some revenue for the
Well, we
budget.
need revenue.
Well, we tried to get it from
That-
the Heritage Commission. And they've stopped meeting. They only have one member.
Huh,
Where is this on Maple?
These are
Maple
duplicates.
Street
oh,
Cemetery?
okay. Why don't we just
Okay.
give those back to
So if you,
Yeah.
you know,
This
have
is
you
the
been in
main-
there?
This is the original, and that's,
Okay.
those
So
are
if you went
copies.
up, Church Street,
Yeah,
going that way, that entrance,
okay.
or if you went off of Maple Street and went straight in, it's on just the opposite side of the cemetery. It abuts the cemetery. About 22 acres.
And,
It's kind of landlocked up in there.
yeah. And she thought it would be a really good educational piece, to do it with horses, do it as a community thing. and-
Like that. We tried to get with Sam, and
Yeah.
we just never had any return.
And whose property is it?
So that was towns.
Town, but is it cemetery land? Whose land is it?
It's a land adjacent to the cemetery. It wasn't cemetery property,
Right.
so. it
I
was-
thought the timber revenue would go to,
Us.
no, cemetery, I believe.
Yeah, it's
No?
like Gilman Pond, we're not getting anything.
Right,
No,
but they did pay for part of the management plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
that plan that you had.
so these property cards can go back.
Yeah,
Those.
yeah, those are duplicates
Yeah, I
of,
spent a long time today with the property card, trying to figure out my taxes. It wasn't pretty. I'll tell you, that's gonna be an issue for a lot of people. Mine's going up about $1,000.
They're
Yeah.
not adjusting the rate commensurately?
Well, they are,
They are,
but it's still gonna be, you take what,
trying to get 100% value.
yeah, you take what they have for valuation, and they say multiply it by 19.73, but that's not gonna be
The rate,
the rate. The rate's gonna be closer to 21.
we won't know the rate until just
Until-
before October.
Yeah, yeah. And then it has to be paid, it's not gonna be paid in the first one. When was the first, didn't we already pay the first one this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be in
It's
November.
all gonna, the increase will all be on
It's
the
all-
December one.
Oh, God.
Merry Christmas. Yeah. Yeah. So I already called my mortgage company. On one hand, they were thrilled with the fact that
It's 100%.
that my valuation went way up, because they want to lend me money based on that. But on the other hand, I said, well, you know, my taxes are going up too. So
What's the town gonna do with all this newfound largesse?
Maybe
there
we-
won't be any.
No,
That's the one thing
just-
we looked at, that it's just gonna be figured, so
So
It's
for
not-
your increase, somebody's getting a decrease.
that's right. Businesses. Businesses and commercial property are getting the decreases.
Why?
Maybe should I make a
What's the
motion to
what the
adjourn?
value?
Yes.
Should I make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Uh-huh, second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Should we turn off the TV, please?
Okay.